good to be back. Man, it's been a long time. I haven't seen y'all in a while.
All right, champ. All right, champ.
Just so you know, this was Lala that fixed my name. It was not me, but shout out to y'all, man.
Bump all that. All right, champ.
What up, champ?
All right,
What's
champ.
up, my guys? I appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, we had a good time on Friday night. Country Day pulled off the upset against Calvary Baptist. So appreciate y'all support, all the things y'all said on social media, man. It was meant the world to me. But shout out to those kids, man. Those kids are special, special group. So shout out to those kids, but also like we got to shout out St. Aug. St. Aug pulls off the state champ. They beat St. Thomas More. So shout out to St. Aug. Hannon also pulls out a state championship as well. So a lot of good basketball was played over the weekend. So I really appreciated all the support and all the comments and all the love. So we're going to talk about Zion Williamson. We're going to talk about will Willie Green be back next year. Lots to talk about, lots to catch up, but let's do it.
First took away. Gas for this. Get your money's worth now.
Presented by the Scott Vicknair Injury Law Firm. If you've been injured in any kind of accident, car, truck, 18-wheeler, or hurt offshore, Scott Vicknair handles it all. Give a call at 504-500-1111 for a free consultation. They always fight for the win. Is always powered by 4D Energy. And shout out Blue Moon. Shout out Blue Moon. What's up, guys? So I did watch shout out Theo, shout out Sunshine John Deere, Standard Mortgage, DraftKings, all that stuff. Appreciate everybody in the comments as always. Didn't watch a single second of last night's game. I don't think I needed to. I do want to talk about this, Chaz. I'll start with you. I got a report earlier today, or maybe it was last night, saying that obviously there are going to be a lot of teams interested in Zion Williamson this offseason. I'm just going to ask this question to you right now. Do you think he gets moved? Is there? Well, let me rephrase it. What are the chances that Zion Williamson gets moved this offseason, percent-wise?
It would be impossible for me to really put a percentage on it. I do think the odds are slim to none, mainly because of you have so many high money contracts on the books. Moving Zion Williamson would signal a total just realignment, total tear down, and I just can't see them doing this with the amount of contracts on the books that won't be planned to start the season, i.e. Herb, i.e. DeJounte. Also, I think Legion Hoops posted that. They buried the lead quite a bit. I went and read the full story, and it might have been McMahon.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah.
And McMahon was kind of just like, yeah, they're kind of basically back at neutral level value. It went from extreme value to values low to now they think if Zion continues the way he's going, they'll be back at neutral level value. So I don't think it was necessarily anything earth-shattering, but it is always a possibility. Before I close, we're at 8. Shout out to Big Money Zeke, Sam, and everybody who's been donating memberships and buying the membership. We appreciate everything. We're at 8 memberships away from that episode that may or may not have happened, becoming available in the members only. We're 8 memberships away. Y'all ran it up. We had 20 new members. We appreciate all y'all. Thank y'all for joining us.
Yeah.
I don't know what episode you're talking about.
Yeah, it may not have even happened.
Who was on?
It may or may
Allegedly.
not have happened.
Allegedly.
Gotcha. Jared, so if you get a top 3 pick and Chaz signals rebuild, right? If you do trade Zion Williamson, say you do get Cooper Flag, say you get the number 1 pick,
cool.
Would you signal the rebuild, right? Like, would it make sense to do the rebuild right now? Just say, screw it. All right, Zion, it's been fun. That's it. We got Cooper. Let's go. Wow.
504. Y'all some ballers in here. Hold on.
Hey, they're calling y'all hands.
Shout out to 504. Oh, we got Reed Hefner in the building.
About to follow up.
Bro, I know your Uncle Hugh. Shout out to Reed Hefner. You got that's 6 right there. Y'all some ballers. Hold on. Corey, if you ain't getting one of them memberships, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going
Oh,
on.
we got X in the building. We got X. Oh
Oh, y'all carry the show.
Oh, shout out to my dog X. Shout out to X. We
Shit,
appreciate
bro.
all y'all, man. Bitch, y'all like the hey. The people have spoken. If I would like drop that shit, we appreciate all y'all, man. Somebody say unlock Kelly. That's what the episode about. That's what the episode about, actually.
It's like finding like your uncle's booty talk 43. Like this how much these cats.
Oh,
Z.
big money
Z.
Big money.
We ain't gotta lie. We ain't gotta lie. People come here for the truth.
Yeah,
It's
hey.
not that. I like the comparison that Chaz made about Wilt's game that did,
Or it
happen,
may not have,
or
right.
maybe if never. I like that a lot more.
You ain't gonna tell me you got videos of fucking George Washington Carver picking peanuts, and you ain't got no video of this Wilt Chamberlain game. Please,
No.
Wilt.
Hey, dog, listen.
I've seen Abe Lincoln. I've seen Abe Lincoln at the Civil War. I
Hey.
see photos
Yeah.
of such. Come on, dog. What we doing?
Hey, bro, I got tweets from like 12 years ago saying that Will shit never happened. All them Will stats is not real, bro. All that shit is fake.
I just find it
What
crazy
game?
that they had a camera ready for the picture after the game,
Yeah,
but you ain't take nothing during the game.
motherfucker.
Like, not even when he got to like, you'd have thought like, hey, he's got 75. Like, we ought to get a camera out. Like, it wasn't like Wilt.
at halftime or something
Yeah, like Wilt's up to 80. It's like, no, he's good. We'll catch him after the game.
Bro,
We'll
you
catch
can
him
go
after.
back and find videos of motherfuckers like Harry Truman today sounds a signal for war. They're building tanks, they're building
Chris?
missiles. Like, and you mean to tell me you can't find no footage of this funky ass grainy game? All right, let's move on, man. My bad. You speaking about the Zion transition in the event that they land Cooper flag.
I can't do it in good faith. Still, I still think Zion is a superstar that has the potential to be. Until like they offer me something that I just can't refuse. If I land the Cooper flag joint, like what if I landed on my own? Right? Like why would I,
That's what
you know
I'm saying,
Like,
Jared.
why would I give it? I don't know
Excellent
yet.
point.
Like Cooper isn't changing my trajectory like immediately, right? It's gonna take you still got to build around him. So I would need something solidified that I know will at least get me into the playoffs consistently, rather than a kid that just come out of college and still finding his way.
So then, Lito, I guess I oppose it. Damn.
Shout out to Dr. Donald, man. We appreciate you, Dr. Donald.
Appreciate it.
Damn.
So I saw a question today, Lito.
Yeah.
I already know your answer, but shout out to Pelicans lead. He posed the question: is this a championship team,
Oh my God.
a championship core? It was
Who said that?
Pelicans lead.
Oh, okay.
It was Zion Williamson, Trey Murphy, Eves Missy, and Herb Jones.
Let's stop.
Those were his exact words.
Let's stop.
Those were the pictures. Those
Okay.
were the pictures.
You have anybody in the background of the pictures?
No,
Oh, okay.
The ghost of Michael Jordan in the back of that picture.
It
says championship or playoff? Cool. No, it said championship. It said a championship core.
Championship core.
In the NBA?
Yeah. Not even unrivaled. I don't even think they would win the unrivaled.
Well, he did pose it as a question, so hey, I mean,
Yeah, that's fair. You're right,
Yeah.
Chaz. That's fair.
So Lito, that
Yeah.
you obviously have the obvious answer there. I'm just saying, does Cooper Flag, just say you land number one, say you land the number one overall pick, does Cooper Flag make you a championship contender?
No,
Okay.
he doesn't.
So my point being, just said this: if you land the number one overall pick with those four, and then I guess DeJounte comes back in January, and Chaz has been alluding to this all year. Like you don't have much money. Like CJ McCollum is an even asset at this point. Like you still don't really necessarily have any tools to build your team into a championship contender, even with Zion Williamson. So my point being, even if you do get the number one overall pick, you're still not a championship contender. So why not move off Zion? I'm not saying two. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. I'm saying why not move off Zion Williamson? You get the number one overall pick. Ross, I want to hear your thoughts on this too, and then start building for the future around Cooper Flag. Because I think the obvious answer here is I don't think David Griffin can, because he'll lose his job as well.
Yeah.
But if you are looking at the future of this team, you would think you'd want to start the rebuild as soon as possible.
I think if we building a team around Cooper Flag, that's still not a championship team. Like I don't think Cooper Flag's ceiling is great enough for me to build a team around him.
Sure, that's fair.
Go ahead.
But what are your choices right now? Like, do you trust Zion Williamson to take this into next year and then, as Chaz said, turn him back into a positive asset, or do you think he'll just remain neutral with his time being in New Orleans?
No, I don't trust him to do so. No,
okay.
But you're in hell. But as Chaz says, I mean, when you look around, like he the best player you got. I feel like I fully believe you're in hell, but I also fully believe if you're the organization, you gotta buy in. You have to. Like you can't just trade him for what? See, that's the thing though. That's the real situation. Like, what is the value? What type of trade package do you feel like is suitable for Zion? Considering what it is that you traded Brandon for, right? You losing two cornerstones of your organization, and you're getting nothing on the dollar. But before you answer that question, Justin, because that was to you. Before you answer that question, I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. You ain't talking enough shit for me. Like you get everybody else proud. Like fuck them right now. I won't talk about you. I won't talk about Coach Knapp. I won't talk about the champion. You set up here. You beat Justin. You beat your mortal enemy. I ain't gonna say his name, but you know what I'm talking about, Justin. You whipped their ass.
Jared was there for that.
Saying.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, look, there's a lot of hard work, and over the last couple of weeks, I really haven't been on the show. I decided to go, just fully all in for those kids, man. Those kids, but yeah, you have an 8th grader dropping 10 points in the state championship game. You have Deuce's son, Curtis McAllister, winning most outstanding player of the game. Then you have Corey Brewer's son, KB Brewer, who's going to be a special player. Then the seniors that led that team. Then this kid Herm Dyson. Just a special group, man. It was a crazy run. Everyone doubted us, but man, it was fucking awesome, bro. Holding that championship trophy was man, that feeling's awesome. I appreciate y'all, bro. I don't want to talk about myself though. I don't want to talk about myself. You know that. That.
I'll do it. We'll do it. Don't worry about it. That. But no, so back to y'all. What do you trade Zion for? Like what would you consider a salvageable deal for him?
So it's funny. I saw a tweet today what Bradley Beal got traded for. Have you seen that? Have you seen that trade?
Oh God!
I mean, it is insane with the amount of swaps and picks and everything. Yeah, like if I'm trading Zion now, I gotta get a player. Man, like where do you even start? Like, but I think Chaz talked about this like a year ago. Like Rudy Gobert fucked up this whole thing. The Rudy Gobert trade has fucked up the whole thing. With all these like picks and the Luka trade, you get 1 first rounder. Like I don't know where like trades I feel like are hard in the NBA right now. You got to get a starter in return. You got to get multiple draft picks, and I'd like to get some type of player on a rookie deal. But once again, like I got to know what pick I have. I think that's the most important part. I got to know what pick I have.
I will just wait till Chris and Ross give their thoughts, but I think I got a cold reality check for this entire discussion.
That's be fair. Go ahead, Ross. I mean, what do you think Zion's
excuse me
worth right now?
Sorry. Probably more than you think. Probably more than I think we would expect. Appreciate it, Randy. I mean, look, he's averaging. Ignoring the injury stuff for a second here, like he's averaging 25, 7, and 5 this year. Like they're just not that, and at any moment can completely dominate a game. Can be the best player on the floor in just about any games. We've seen him do it against all-stars. We've seen him do it against all-NBA. Like at any point when Zion is Zion, like so that to me puts him in a class different than like Zach LaVine or Michael Bridges or somebody like that.
Mikal, we gotta figure this one out. It's
he's Bridges, whatever. He's whatever. And so for me, when I'm thinking about a trade, that puts, even though he hasn't led a team to anything, it still puts him individually in a class much higher than some of these other players that I think we're talking about. So I don't know, man. And his contract, look, if he stays healthy the next couple of years, like by some chance, he's underpaid. Like you can't take that out of the equation either. I don't know. I mean, I'd have to go like think about it, but I think there's 0% chance he gets traded. To be clear,
I wouldn't open zero. Like Chris, like let me ask you this then: what teams do you think would what team, or give me a couple teams, do you think would actually go and be interested for Zion Williamson and maybe even possibly overpay? I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but what team could use someone like Zion Williamson? Could you say all NBA teams could use Zion Williamson? Because I don't necessarily think that's true, but I'm interested. Like, what team is like, yes, if we get Zion, we go over the hump here?
So, first off, you Justin?
I am.
But so you got to think. You. So I would say,
Love the show.
Teams, number one, they have to have some type of consistency in their organization. Because like Zion is like, my uncle used to say, there's always a fine girl with like baggage and kids that somebody thinks that they could save. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always that, like as long as she fine, there's always gonna be that one person that think I could save her, I could turn her around. So I think for Zion, like you gotta think of some like organizations that got structure, right? So and they need that star power and they're willing to take the gambles. Like Miami is the first team that comes to mind. Golden State's a team that comes to mind. I don't know if it would happen, but I think Memphis is a team that comes to mind. Chicago, not necessarily from the structure, but from the fact that they could use someone like him, and it would be a fresh start. You got the Jordan mix there, you got the city, you got the market that that he's talked about that he likes. That would be a nice spot for him. Atlanta, like it's just those kind of teams. And to be honest, unless one of the great teams right now are thinking about doing something drastic, those are the only teams I could think of, to be real, that would make sense for both sides.
So I think, Lito, I think you started this. Appreciate you, Lou. Alex says OKC. I just don't see a fit.
That was me, actually.
Oh, that was you. Sorry, Chaz. Go ahead. I just don't see.
Well,
look, I don't see a fit there.
I think when you deal with a high level talent like that, fit matters a lot less. I do believe that every team in the league would be interested if the price was right. It's just like if someone offered you, what analogy I used? I think it was during the Brandon trade. I was like, if someone offers me this thing, but it's covered in shit, I kind of gotta like take it. I kind of gotta make an offer for it just because it's like it's the best value for the actual trade. And the situation with Zion is like, look, man, right now this team is free falling perpetually into irrelevance. You trading Zion isn't going to do anything to help this. And it all really comes back to the point that this isn't a real team. This is a farm team. It's a farm team. And personally, I've come to believe that New Orleans isn't a basketball city. I think New Orleans is a live event city. So I think the minute you remove the star quality from the team, the fanfare is gonna be unsalvageable, personally. And I don't think Cooper Flag. First of all, this is only a trade you make or consider if you win the lottery or if you get a deal that's like unbelievable. Like if Houston came to offer me Amen Thompson and a bunch of picks and maybe like Reed Shepard and some other shit, I strongly consider it, right? But I also have to be okay with staying in perpetual basketball relevancy. I have to be okay with that. And that's kind of it goes back to my old adage, what's the goal? Like, it's the goal. Do you even want a shot at, it's like, okay, we talk about the Rudy Gobert trade, right? And I feel like if there's a 5% chance that you can even win a championship, you make that Rudy Gobert trade every fucking time. Because that's how small the window is, how small of a chance it is for you to even realistically contend, especially in a market like Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? In a market like New Orleans, if Zion gives you a 1% chance at being a perpetual contender or winning the championship, you gotta keep him. And we haven't gotten to like the fallout of a Zion Williamson trade. Also, you trade him before Trey Murphy's on this contract. Right. You trade him before you don't trade for DeJounte Murray, right? You trade Brandon for Scoot or whoever you want to trade him for last year. This tear down would be a year or so too late because now you got big money locked in for multiple years. You got a guy coming off an Achilles that's probably not going to be ready to 2026. You got Herb Jones. I don't know what the fuck's going on in that situation. You got Bruce, center of the future, Bruce Brown. You got Kelly Olynyk. You got you got this bogus ass team, this bogus ass fake weird team, and it's like you can't even start.
And look, just like take your cues from what the Saints are doing right now. Like they're not tearing the team apart. Like the Saints, who just had just a god awful year, really a god awful handful of years in a row, are not tearing the team apart right now. They're extending veterans. They're signing veterans in like we're bringing back players that were so like take a cue from that. It's basically a lot of the same people running these organizations. I don't see this as even a viable thing to this offseason. I think there's zero chance that this would happen.
Wow.
Like Justin.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
So you mentioned like the question was it was surrounded around being a championship contender. Mm-hmm. And I think what the Pelicans got to figure out, any organization has to figure out, like basketball, maybe more than any other sport, respects its history. And like it repeats itself over and over and over again, like decades. So what I mean is like wings / guards and big men win championships. It's always been that way. So like, and typically it's a combination of two. So the thing is with either you talking Zion or Flag, if we'll see what kind of wing he is, but what exactly is Zion? Like, and if you can't, he doesn't fit either of those modes. So it's up to him to unless he's going to break the mold completely and create this whole new type of conversation, maybe similar to Giannis by just persevering through. Everybody's wasting their time, to be honest.
Hey, I think it's crazy to consider this, but from this standpoint, you finally gave Zion the keys. Like you finally did it. And then now you think about trading. No. I think you're so far past that. I mean, hell, you tried to, right? You tried to move him and it didn't work. You were taking calls on Zion. No one really wanted to do any business with you, right? It didn't work out. Now's not the time. I don't think Zion is at its like highest value point, right? To even move off him. So what's the point of doing it now? Like, take your L. And again, like Griff wouldn't even be the one making this decision, right? This decision would be above his pay grade, as it should be, because he's fucked up so much. He shouldn't have any iota of confidence built for Griff or in doing any decision like this. So I think it'd be idiotic to make this decision. You have no standard to do it. You have no backbone to do it. Just don't even think about it.
And just one more thing to add to that. I mean, look, Jared just said you finally gave him the keys, and it's not like you gave him the keys to like a new vehicle. You gave him the keys to like a beat up 2-door truck, and then a bunch of like, and then it got in a couple wrecks, and now so really you gave him the keys to like an old El Camino.
With
so it's like until you haven't even
exactly.
Like, so you can't even like, yes, he has the keys, but it's not keys anybody wants. Okay. So you have to like keep that in mind too. It's just too soon to have this conversation. And to be fair, to answer the dude's original question, no, that's not a championship core. But I do think if you add Cooper Flag and you have a healthy Zion, Trey. Like, I think then you can start to like envision something that could like be a playoff contender, which is important. Like, or even like call it a playoff fixture. I don't know, that feels a bit too far, but you can at least, you've got to get there first. Chris is talking about history, but like you shouldn't be talking about championship contender when like you were the second team eliminated from playoff contention this year. Like you're terrible. Let's figure out a way to get to like a 6 seed. Let's do that first.
Lito, go ahead.
So, all right. I hate the whole Zion Keys thing. Like, I keep saying that. Like, I just hate it. Like, I hate that you live in a place and you don't have a key to the house. Like, I just don't understand. So, like, how you getting inside? Like, every time, even when you go out and you come home at 3 a.m., you knocking on the door for somebody to let you in, you don't have keys. These are metaphorical keys, of course. The other thing is, Chris brought up his uncle. Shout out to Chris' uncle, man. I don't know him, but he sounds like a great dude. But
shout out.
The other side of that is with the baggies and the kids. You also got the person who you trying to keep off the street, who just love the street. They just a goer. It's just a goer. In some circles, shout out to the goers. But in some circles, you may call that a doorknob, right? Everybody get a turn. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But this is the issue. The issue is that's your doorknob. That's your doorknob, right? Like you love her.
Unmute Chris.
You love her. I'm saying you love her. It don't matter what nobody else think. And it's also at the end of the day, it's cheaper to keep her. I'm just saying.
Okay, gotta love the whole but it's like true. Like I saw a clip the other day. To me, it just summarizes. And like the first thing I thought about was the Pelicans. That's every time I see like a terrible clip or something that's just nonsensical to me, I think about the Pelicans. That's crazy. Shout out to Andrew Reese. I saw Andrew Reese was like, we just gonna strike because we ain't making no money. And I immediately thought to myself, like, I think you're a little confused about the amount of leverage you have in said situation. So, like, when I look at the Pelicans and I look at, like, even with Zion, right, it's kind of like, it's like, yo, I remember the Sacramento Kings was forced to re-sign Buddy Hield. And Buddy Hield was like, I'm putting up some real numbers here. Who the fuck y'all think coming to Sacramento besides me? Y'all gonna play me out of my money and y'all just traded DeMarcus Cousins? Because that's the thing. You traded DeMarcus Cousins for me. So now you gotta pay me. Like, and I think this was the first major contract. This was his rookie extension. So, like, when I look at the Pelicans, I'm like, you just not a real team. This ain't a real thing. Like, you not in position to forfeit three. I hate to compare Zion to like Anthony Davis or Chris Paul because I think both of those guys are like Hall of Fame players. But you don't have the clout or the cachet or the appeal to fail 3 times with major assets, like box office assets, because it's going to be incredibly difficult for you to replace those players. And I'm just talking about selling tickets. I ain't even talking about if you trying to fill the arena. I think that's the nail in the coffin of you being a farm team. Because with me, it doesn't stop there. Now you're on an entirely different timeline. Now you're on Cooper Flag timeline. That means everybody got to go now. And how the fuck are you going to get rid of DeJounte? You can't right now. How you going to get rid of Herb? You probably can't right now due to the injury thing. The CJ thing becomes a little less appealing because now you have to tear it down. And once everyone else knows you have to tear it down, that's when those offers get even worse. So I just think they're in a tough spot. Shout out to Andrew Reese, though.
Hey,
beautiful one.
Chaz, you made me think about something, and I did see that clip about Andrew Reese. And like do you understand the predicament that you're in? It reminds me of the Dark Knight Rises, right? When Bane and Batman are first getting into that, they first meet each other, right?
Right.
And Batman's talking greasy.
You think darkness is your friend?
You think
right.
know who you are. You think okay. Let me give you a glimpse of what this really is. And I think the Pelicans just, again, they don't have their feet under them. They don't know where they are. they believe that there's something, but they're really not. It's mirage right now. They put up a fake poster of who they really are, but we know the truth. This is why you guys come to this show to understand the truth. They don't know. They have no understanding of what their position is when they're negotiating with somebody like Zion. And when Zion truly understands who he is, yeah, then now you're really in trouble. So that's just my statement on it.
Hey, Justin, one more thing though. You talked about what the Wizards got back for Bill, right?
Wait, say it again.
You talked about what the Wizards got back for Brad Bill.
Yeah.
I think the Wizards are in a great spot going forward. Like I think that team, looking at that roster, obviously they have to turn the roster now.
Yeah.
But I'm saying,
sure.
but I'm saying, if you look at what Sarr is doing, if you look at what Bub Carrington is doing, if you look at what their draft picks, how they're playing, that if you want my honest opinion, I think the Wizards are kind of on a OKC type timeline. Like it's OKC light. If you look at how they're drafting positionless players.
Yeah. Nah. I think you're right.
No, that's a team with a plan.
Yeah,
they have a plan. Like we're still playing Trey Murphy 40 minutes a night. Now, I had a very interesting conversation over the weekend, but we'll talk about that. But it was there's definitely a disconnect. I'm pretty sure of front office and what we're doing with players right now.
Pelicans give kangaroo court a whole new meaning. It's fucking kangaroo court.
Yeah, like I look. So I didn't, like I said, I didn't watch a single second last night. It was the first game I hadn't watched all year, and I look at the box score today. Trey Murphy played 39 minutes. Mm-hmm. Antonio Reeves played 6. And I'm not saying Antonio Reeves and Trey Murphy are playing the same position. I'm just saying though, like there is no need for Trey Murphy to play 39 minutes ever for the rest of the year. But once again, there's this disconnect between front office and head coach, and I think it's gonna rear its ugly head here in the offseason. I do. I wanted to. What you got, Jarrett?
No, I'm just gonna say Trey Murphy can beg to play 40 minutes, and he still wouldn't play 40 minutes. Like what do we?
But what's the and Jarrett? Here's the. Once again, they were trying to win that game last night. I know the Zion Williamson personal issue. The Spurs are literally they're trying to tank. Like they're trying to do it, and you had to lose that game last night, and still you're playing Trey Murphy 40 minutes. Like, how does that make any sense? Like Utah gets fined $100,000 or slap. It's a slap on the wrist. Like, you think they care?
I think honestly, one of the more daunting things and that should sound some alarms is the fact that CJ, Trey, and Zion are playing these games. And
you are trying to win, and
you are trying to win, and you're still losing. So I mean, there's some people say, well, they're not trying to win. It's like, I don't know. Look, man, stick to Frisbee. These motherfuckers trying to win, and they stink. All right, they fucking stink. Enough of the nice talk. They stink. All right, they fucking stink. And a lot of that's coming from the coaching staff and trickling down. I have a great JB Bickerstaff clip. Personally, I think this is a soft, bullshit Bush League organization. I think everyone joins his organization, contributes to that in some way, shape, or form. And I just feel like it's time for a total rebrand and ushering of a new guard and a new regime, because you see what watershed wholesale changes can do, i.e. Detroit, i.e. even the Cavaliers, who were thought to be the joke of the league for several years, i.e. I remember those terrible Boston years. I remember those not so great OKC years where they were actively tanking. I remember several teams went through a total rebrand. Like even the Brooklyn Nets are playing competitive basketball. They don't have the payroll that this bullshit team has. And so a lot of it is the coaching staff. A lot of it is ownership. And the first time we see David Griffin with his decrepit, bald, ridiculous looking, freaky, disgusting ass, from what I've heard, is that he's talking about going to fucking Australia. Like, this is the first time we see you since the debacle of a Brandon Ingram trade. This is ridiculous. This is totally ridiculous. I land my plane.
I don't even.
What
They're
do
in a
you
bad-
think that?
they're in a
What do
bad
you
spot.
think? What do
They're in
you
a
think
bad
that
spot.
says, y'all? The fact that Zion, CJ, Trey, and the formidable Jose Alvarado, who's been compared to JJ Barea, I think he's more like JJ Evans. And the what do you think that says about the team?
And
The fact
Eves,
that they
and
do
Eves.
have this. Oh, and Eve.
Eves was never your starting center. I mean, it's not.
The
Yeah.
coach sucks. The coach sucks,
Yeah.
and you need a different coach, a better coach, a coach that has a better fitting philosophy that fits today, a coach that breathes the game and understands what's going to help bring the best out of this group, a coach that is an actual communicator and doesn't just reach from a soundboard, of cliche things to say, like a football defensive coordinator,
Like
like
play
an
with force.
actual, like not that, an actual really good basketball coach that can teach and lead men.
And hold people accountable.
Oh, that was a great alley. Stop right there. Stop right there. Great alley by both of you gentlemen. That's why you guys make the big bucks. Check this out.
I'm extremely proud of the way they continue to compete. I'm disgusted by the way that game was officiated. The level of disrespect was above and beyond. They have a guy fall down and trip on his own teammate's foot. They review us for a hostile act. They throw an elbow to our chest, neck area. I ask for him, at least take a look at it, right? Just show us the respect to take a look at it, okay? No one would take a look at it, okay? The disrespect has gone far enough, and I'm not gonna allow our guys to be treated the way that they were treated tonight, okay? I tried to have a conversation with official. The official was arguing with Mark. I say his name one time, and he screams at me and tells me that's enough, right? We understand that we play a style of ball that's physical, it's on the edge, right? I coach my ass off with a passionate way. I'm into the games. Our players are into the games. We understand that, right? But we deserve a level of respect because we're competing our tails off and bringing something positive to this league, right? We're growing young players. Our young players are competing their tail off. The least that they could do is get the same respect that everybody else in this league gets and get refereed the same way that everybody else in this league gets reffed. And enough is enough of it. And what you saw tonight was disgusting. It was a disgusting display of disrespect towards our guys and what we're trying to do.
And Chaz, thanks for playing that because that's something Willie Green will never do. But what he's doing is, one, he's changing the culture. He is a culture changer right there. Second off, this is what, how many games has he coached for with Cade Cunningham? 60, 65, 70, whatever it may be.
Something like
He's
that.
going to bat for his star player getting ejected in year one of this shit. Willie Green has never done that once for Zion Williamson. Not one time. How many times have you seen Zion Williamson just go over to the ref and get teed? And this is what me and Jared have talked about ad nauseum, of going to bat for your players. And what does the head coach say? I don't want to say anything. I want to keep money in my pocket. That's what he said. Word for word, what he said. I want to keep money in my pockets. That's who's leading your team right now. That man right there, that team is turning the corner. That team's a playoff team. There's a huge difference. Huge difference. And you think Cade Cunningham like that? You think Cade Cunningham's in play as you think Cade was like, yeah, appreciate that, man. I'm gonna run through a wall for you.
Got to keep a little change in your pocket, Justin. Can't just be giving up the
But
buck.
what's crazy is that you can't say that in a presser. Like, you just don't say it. Just say no comment. Not, I'm trying to keep money in my pocket.
Got to have a brain to think.
And there's definitely a disconnect between Brandon and he does it in the playoff last year. Like, look, I don't know the relationship between Brandon and Willie, but once again, he's got to figure it out. What? Like, look, I felt sour on Brandon in his last couple of years, but you don't say that, especially like Zion's out. Like, you need Brandon Ingram to be playing his best basketball for you to have even a chance at winning a game or two in that playoff series. And after the first time you have a chance to go to bat for your player, he's got to figure it out. Are you fucking, bro?
What's
sorry,
funny?
I
What's funny is
Wait, Ross.
I was like, what's funny is we're this, like, I know it's easy to, like, we could spend a month talking about how terrible Willie is, but like all this stuff happened like at a minimum of last year, but some of this stuff is years ago now. He's still the head coach. Whose fault is that? That it's like you can't, like, where's the buck stop? It ain't with Willie. He should have been gone. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, there is no. That's why to me we've done, Justin. I know you and I have had this conversation. The worst thing for me is indifference, and I'm so indifferent right now about this team because you've shown me no willingness to do it. The fact that Willie Green is still the head coach shows me that you don't care. Like, there's nothing else. I don't even need to talk about the team anymore. Like, until you address that, he's not a good coach. He's not really a good leader. He doesn't say or do the right. It just, like, somebody's got to do their job and fire that guy. I mean, it just is what it is. Like,
credit the Mark Balfe. He pretty got this interesting clip. He presented it on the timeline quite a few times. Shout out to him. I was able to acquire this via certain means.
Yeah. Wow. Look, Willie gave up trying to talk to him. Oh, you coach alert, bro. If you ever reacted like this when I was trying to give you advice on a case, I would be furious. Yeah, that's crazy. Look, Willie stopped talking to him. They were just mid-conversation. Look, Willie is looking at a blank clipboard. I'm zooming in. That clipboard is blank. Look at Z. He's like, man, I wish we had a coach.
I see what Zion. Go ahead, Chris.
That Aaron Miles looks more ready in that moment to deal with whatever the hell Zion has on his face than Willie is. This isn't like people, like, body language tells it all. And like, fuck what we know, what we've seen, what we've been told. Body language tells you a lot. And we've seen, was it now 4 years of this, or 3 years, however many years with Willie Green? It's just not his strong point. Doing what it, like, you, bro, it's not an accident that, like, some of the best coaches in basketball are all crazy. All of them. Because you gotta be, to deal with the shit that you got to deal with, these grown men that are making hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, to get them all to sacrifice. These people that all come from high schools and places where they were the best player, that are coming to your team, and you got to find a way to give them to buy in for one goal to win basketball games. All of them crazy. All of them. You can't tell me one right now that doesn't have a little bit crazy to him. Willie don't. It's just not. He's too nice. He's too nice. He's too passive. And he's the type that Justin mentioned accountability. Well, if confrontation really isn't your thing, and I ain't talking about you got to slap shit out of somebody, but I'm talking about confronting something in which you guys are having a conversation that you know could possibly go left. It's not what he's good at, and he's never been. You know what I'm saying? Like we saw that clip of him giving that speech against the Clippers. It's the difference between giving speeches. Coordinators can give really good speeches. You know what I'm saying? But as the head coach, as the head guy, it's your job to go beyond that. Even in that moment, he got to have a relationship with Zion. They don't have a relationship in that moment. You're supposed to be having a conversation like, yo, bro, like, whatever the case may be. I don't know what time of game it was at that point, but yo, we getting our ass whooped right now. Hey, this is what I'm seeing. Something. There's nothing there. They just sitting there looking awkward next to each other. Some people might look at that and say that looks bad on Zion. No, that looks bad as the person that's supposed to be the leader, the person in charge that has no connection with his star player.
Chaz, can you play the clip again? Shoot, my bad, Chaz. You might be muted.
Oh, my bad. Wait, am I?
You know, I think you were typing. Can you?
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Look, Willie Willie gave up trying to talk to him. Oh, you coach alert, bro. If you ever reacted like this when I was trying to give you advice on a case, I would be furious.
I wanted to cut it real quick because I do have a problem. I'm not a fan of Willie. I do have a problem with Zion. Why does he, and I've been to a lot of games, why does he never warm up in the second half? Like, you see the Magic players, they're getting warmed up, they're getting shots up. Zion does this all the time where he just comes out the last guy out, hangs next to the coach. And he's like, all right, let's go. Like, that to me, that it just, as a coach, it bothers me a little bit that Zion doesn't warm up in the second half. But I'm like, what is Zion gaining just standing next to Willie right there? Like what happened before that? Like, was there something, like, was there a conversation? Because
I don't know how true
the guy
it is.
says mid-conversation and then they stop talking.
I don't know how true it is, but I think I was told that it was after the technical.
That's halftime. That right there is halftime.
Those dudes have shooting shirts on.
Yeah, so I don't know, but
so I was just wondering because you hear the guy say in the video they were just mid conversation, stop talking. So I just thought it was just weird.
Hey, Justin, him not warming up just goes really in a laundry basket of things that Zion has been able to do under the gauge of of the organization, right? They allow Zion. He missed the flight. Like, was that the first time he like? That's all pretty much the same thing, right? Like, things we've all heard and have seen. Like, okay, cool. That's just what he does, right? I think that's more of like a culture thing. But this interaction is more of like their relationship or the lack of relationship or the lack of really respect. Like, Zion is not. He knows he can't learn anything from Willie. You don't have to be the smartest coach to get guys to buy in. Like, we've seen guys that come in and pause and think that they're smarter than everybody and people still don't respect them. I think it's the ability to gain said respect and keep it. Willie has lost all respect in that locker room. From all accounts that I've come in contact with, all respect in that locker room. So
Was it from this year, Jared?
Not just with the players.
Yeah, I think it's all around, like organizationally, like it's over for him. Like, no, I don't know if I can find somebody that'll go to bat for Willie right now.
Chris spoke about body language, and I wanna present this evidence, right? Circumstantial at best, but these gentlemen have something in common. This is Coach Silas in Houston. This is Zion Williams in Detroit, and this is Willie Green in New Orleans. Get these bitch-made brothers out of here. That's why people like, look, man, this got to be a beacon for truth around this motherfucker. These dudes are weenies, all right? They're weenies. And you got to get this loser-ass weenie energy out the building. Like, you know what I'm saying? Look, I hate to be cruel, but look, you started off on the right path. You got to get these dudes out the building. Like, this don't do nothing but like poison the well. That's why and this guy is audacious enough to come out and say, yeah, the team plays soft. It's like, you're their leader.
So, but
it starts with you.
But Ross and Chaz, but like, it's very obvious they have to make a move at head coach. It's very obvious. But once again, it goes back to the top of David Griffin. Basically, like, how can he sell to Gale and the front office members or of ownership and be like, hey, this is my third coach in 6 years. I deserve to get a crack at the fourth one. Oh, and we have to listen to Zion Williamson offers as well this offseason. Oh, and DeJounte Murray, he's out until January 2026. Herb Jones, we have no idea when he's coming back. We might get a top 3 pick, but we're trying to win. But we're telling them to lose, but the head coach wants to win. Like, how do you sell that? Or does David Griffin just be like, hey, we're going to Australia next summer? That's a positive. Fuck.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is it David Griffin?
I don't think Griff has to sell. Like, yeah. You shouldn't at this point, at least in my opinion.
You don't think he has to sell it?
I don't think you have to sell firing Willie Green. I truly like
ownership likes Willie Green. Like, they like him.
That tells me everything. That tells me everything I need to know about.
So that's what I'm saying. What if David Griffin actually wants to move on? What if David Griffin actually wants to move on from Willie Green and Gale and ownership are like, no, we like Willie Green?
then what's the purpose? Then what's the point of having a franchise?
I think David
What's the
Griffin
point?
has.
That's like, I'm not even gonna give an analogy. I don't need to.
He has means. This things he could put out to the press to kind of launch national pressure and kind of have that be his way of doing things. David Griffin is not above leaking things to the press. Zion's new agency and media team, they clearly got shams like in their hip pocket. So shout out to them. But I don't think it's something necessarily you'd have to convince ownership with. I just think it's something that you have to have enough noise surrounding it for it to become a bigger issue on a national level. Also, you could say, hey man, I got people interested in coaching this team from winning organizations, and I want to do a full scale audit, and I'm unable to do that with the way things currently are. And to Ross's point, this was kind of what I was getting at with the trade and Zion thing. It's like you're at a point where it doesn't really you're getting to a point where it doesn't make sense for you to have a team if you're not constantly trying to improve. If something as small as firing one of the worst, I don't care what Frisbee dude says, one of the worst and cheapest head coaches in the entire league, if you can't make that decision, then you need to just you need to chalk it up and find somebody who can.
Go lead up.
Y'all brought up the minutes. We've been talking about the minutes players have been playing for weeks now, and it really leads me to believe I don't really know if Griffin's in control either, because if that's the case, why wouldn't he intercede in that situation? Right? Why wouldn't he say, "What you're playing Trey 39 minutes here, you're playing CJ 40 minutes, you're overtaxing players that we could have ready for next season, or that we're trying to trade, or hey, how about we develop some rookies?" I feel like there is nobody front office on the immediate coaching staff. I'm not gonna talk about the coaching staff. I'm gonna say head coach with a plan. There's nobody with a plan. I don't think Griff has a plan. I think you could literally look at everything he said. There's not gonna be an offseason of complacency. We're gonna be very aggressive, and your aggressive moves resulted in Daniel Tice.
Don't forget about Trey J. Okay, can't forget about Trey J.
Shout out to Trey.
I mean, they traded for DeJounte Murray. That part's. I'm with you.
But no. Lito brings up a good point because David Griffin ain't scared to hop in and say, hey, you're ready to play. Let's go. You don't need any rehab. You're in the starting lineup tonight. He's done that. He's done that this year.
Listen, but I think Chaz brought this up a couple shows ago. Griffin's thrown Willie Green under the bus
Multiple times.
In the staff multiple times. If Willie understands that he's out, he's not listening to Griff. He don't want to hear it. His objective is, I need to prove that I'm a willing, or good basketball coach in the NBA. So his idea is to win his games as many as possible. To win as many games as possible, even if it's bad teams. Again, that's why you see Trey playing 40 minutes. And it's weird that it's Trey, right? It's ironic that it's Trey, the guy that you wouldn't play. Now he's playing. Ain't it crazy?
That's actually a really good point.
Let me ask y'all this: if you're Willie Green and you canvassing the bench, and do you say, "Fuck, you want me to do? You want me to play Jordan Hawkins 35 minutes? That's what you're trying to do?"
Well, to Lito's point, like Chaz, why can't we just start doing injury designations? Oh yeah, I'm playing Trey 40. No, you're not. Trey's hurt. Trey's personal reasons. Trey's got a sore hamstring. Trey's got a meniscus. I think that's what reports too.
I think that's what players and agents and the leadership of the team actually come into play and have to be more vocal.
Can I ask you something, Chaz?
Mm-hmm.
If you were just say you were Trey Murphy, right? And I was like, Trey, we're sending you out for the next couple games. Would you be pissed that I asked you to sit out the next couple games or no?
Nah, I got my money. I don't give a fuck.
Right. So none of the players would be mad that you have an injury designation over these next 15 games. Trey, look, you can start your offseason early. You're done. You think that would be a bad a bad move?
No, see, I've gone back and forth with this because on one hand, you do want to set a different precedent. Like you don't want a loser mentality to kind of sit in with the team where it's like, all right, so now that everybody got nothing to play for, we're gonna pack up our lunch and go home. And on the other hand, I'm like, well, really, you don't have anything to play for at this point. See, me, I don't think necessarily you have to sit them, but you really should play all these guys less minutes. I don't think you necessarily have to sit them because I don't think playing them makes much of a difference. But at the same time, it just shows such a lack of communication, a lack of I would say hierarchy. Shout out to Kim Son. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Super Sunday. A lack of hierarchy, a lack of foresight. But this again all goes back to David Griffin from the standpoint of for one, knowing who you're dealing with in Willie Green, having a maybe lame duck coach, and not drafting well. Because if you had an intriguing prospect in some of these guys, Carlo had a double-double. He played okay for what you drafted him for. Shout out to my son. But with someone like Hawkins or Messi or like some of the other guys, like EJ Liddell's gone. You never really saw EJ Liddell play a second. You know what I'm saying? Nickeil Alexander-Walker's gone. Kyra Lewis is gone. Jackson Hayes is gone. All these guys, Dyson Daniels is gone. Didi Lozada is gone. Like all these people are gone. So you don't even necessarily, aside from Antonio Reeves and Carlo, you don't have any like intriguing young players waiting in the wing that you can say, all right, well, we about to see what Cam Whitmore got to offer. We about to see what Reed Shepard can do. We about to turn the keys over to Amen Thompson. We about to do it. Like you don't have that. So in a sense, I think Ross said this before. It's kind of like, and play who? Like who you realistically gonna sub a motherfucker out for? That's why even with a Jose Alvarado who hasn't really been on the team or in the league that long, this is already a grown man. It's like he's not gonna get much better, and you have to play these guys to an extent. What you gonna play with? What you gonna do with Kane? What you gonna do with Brooks? What you gonna do with some of these guys? It's just a terrible. It's a product of terrible team construction, and now you're stuck in a place where there is no
avenue out.
Not just avenue out. There is no harvest. You know what I'm saying? There is no harvest.
That's fair.
You know,
X, appreciate you get the mics up. I do have to
Thank you,
shout out a couple guys that always watch the show that are state champions. So Andrew Nelson, McAllister Calejo always watch our shows. Congrats to y'all. They were the two
Shout out
seniors.
to the guys.
They were the two seniors on the Country Day team that won a state championship. So shout out to y'all. And make sure you smash the like button. So Chris, we keep talking about we're in hell. What's the way out? How do you get out? How do you get out of this?
That's a good question. See, this how you start. This how you start. What's up, fellas? Shout out to Blue Jay with that 50 piece. He said, "What's up, fellas? I'm afraid the front office might keep Willie for financial reasons. I say clean the house expeditiously. Expeditiously. Pardon me.
Shout out to Blue Jay.
Y'all saw what Brian Windhorst said. Y'all saw what Brian Windhorst said about Brandon Ingram and the Raptors.
Yeah, he said he got the worst ankle.
He's got the worst ankle sprain in the history of mankind.
Jesus Christ,
it's crazy because he don't even have ankles.
Yeah. You that guy with cankles.
Oh, that's tough.
Crazy.
Chris, how do you get out of hell?
I mean, you got to figure out a way to build an actual identity. So it's either it's one way or another. If you can't do it if you're not gonna fire Griff and bring in a new front office structure, then you got to fire the coach. From there, you got to let the coach identify with what he has and what they're gonna bring in, what's most important for each player. These players need real offseason goals. So I mean, shout out to Grub. I was talking to Grub about this, right? Like Messi. You know, we see all these off-season videos of these guys working on all this other shit. Just keep it simple, Messi. Need you to catch the ball, need you to dunk. Need you to work on your processing skills. Need you to get a little bit stronger. Need you to work on a few things in regards to protecting the basket, because year 2 is going to be really important to you. If you don't have a really good year 2, there won't be a year 3. not in the way you want it to. So you need to go ahead and have a really strong summer and work on these things. The list goes on and on. They got enough data to figure out what kind of roster they think fits best with this version of Zion. Front office is going to do what it need. What I can't say what it needs to do, but whatever it's going to do, and adding the pieces. But you gotta add, a new flame when it comes to an identity and the team you're gonna be, the type of team, the type of franchise that you're gonna build for, and then from there, it got to be a domino effect. So if it's not gonna be the front office, it gotta be the coach. If it ain't gonna be the coach, it gotta be the front office. But one way or another, because both ain't gonna happen. But in one way or another, they got to figure out to do that. And then maybe you can start to regain or build a new trust in regards to how these players look in the relationships and the things that we need these players to be better at. Bob talks about just IQ and know-how and some of these things. Maybe some of these dudes have been damaged. Maybe they were smart players when they got to New Orleans. Maybe they did have good, solid IQ, upgradable, progressive IQ. IQ that certain things that you could develop, and they've been damaged. So you need somebody else to come in along with some newer faces to kind of help fix all this shit. Cause I don't think they're in hell. To be honest, but I think that they desperately need some changes. And they need to do that shit quickly. There ain't no point of waiting. As soon as the season is over with, make a move and let's figure out what this next era looks like.
Well said, Chris. Shout out to you, Carl. $20 super chat. I would love a Secret Boss episode with the Pelicans no Gale joke this time. I'm chilling this week. Appreciate your super chat. So Ross, and then I want to hear Lito's thoughts. How do they get out of hell? If you think they are in hell, let me rephrase it. Do you think they're in hell? Do you not think they're in hell? It's a good show title.
I don't think they're in hell. I don't. We've been critical this year because it's been so bad, and I think they've continued to make some of the same mistakes, unfortunately, with the roster. But you're only in hell if you choose to stay there. And I think there's a path. By being so bad, the NBA affords you a path out, which is lucking into one of the top 2 picks, right? Like that automatically gives you the cheapest, sometimes most valuable assets the league has to offer. You're going to get, you have a very good chance of getting one of those this year. And if you make the appropriate moves after that, you can, we've talked about it. The roster could look totally different by the first game of next year if they really wanted it to. I think this team's issue in a lot of ways is not with the roster. It's with their glorification of the players they currently have. It's their unwillingness to change the roster, I think, that is keeping them in this bad spot. But if you finally say to yourself, if whoever's leading the team, I have no clue who that is anymore, if that person or those people say to themselves, we're not going to settle and we're not going to do this weird family good guy thing, and we're going to bring in the absolute best players humanly possible no matter what, this roster could look totally different come October 1st. It could be a roster that we all say, hey, okay, I think this is a legitimate playoff team. I truly believe that. I don't think they'll do it, but I think there's a very clear path forward to getting there. But it involves luck. It involves luck in the draft. I'll say that part. Got to get lucky.
Lito than Jared.
You asking me are they in hell? Hell is relative. We think hell. Most people in hell don't know they're in hell. So it's what do you consider? What do you consider hell? Because somebody might tell you heaven on earth. This don't feel like heaven to me. I'm just saying. I think that.
I guess not having a direction would be my hell.
You see a you see a direction.
That's why I think we are in hell.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's why I'm saying.
No. I agree with
hell?
you. I agree with you. I feel like we are in hell. I think I think that they are this coming off season, right? There should be a plan in place. Like I think once DeJounte went down,
Yep.
there should have been plans in place in order to proceed or progress this thing along. And shout out to him, bro, because I know he rehabbing like as you know, I know he's rehabbing as much as he can in order to get back on the court. Chris, I'm a professional, dog. I still think that. Let me tell you what hell is. Hold on. Let me tell you what hell is. So I'm it's Super Sunday uptown. I'm about my mama. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to my uncle. And he told me, he said, man, you know what, bro? We watching the Lakers and Mavs play. I mean the Lakers and the Suns play. He said, man, the Pelicans just get rid of all their good players. And we watching the same game. And I'm like, who you talking about?
I already know.
And he was like, your boy right there, the tall one with the fro. And I was like, who the good player though? And he was like, man, he playing, you know, he's playing really well for the Lakers. I said, dog, he playing with 2 all-timers. He playing with 2 all-timers. Who you had on this team that was gonna do that for him? Who was gonna set the table? And you know what he said? You know what he said? Jose Alvarado. And I said, we in fucking hell. That's fucking hell right there. That's how I know we in hell. Motherfuckers is covered in Jose. Bro, we in hell. I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh. Jared, go ahead. I was thinking about the same thing today, Lito.
I was thinking, man. First, if they are in hell, the way they gotta get out is pray. First pray. Because you're gonna need some big answers from the man upstairs to get out of this one. I don't know if they're in hell or not, but I know they're in chaos. I know that for sure. I know that the Pelicans, although some people thrive in chaos, some people need their backs against the wall to be able to fight their way out. The Pelicans just don't know how to do so. They don't know how to thrive in chaos. They don't know how to thrive in any setting, even when things go their way. I mean, the Zion ping pong ball bounced their way, and they still managed to fuck this up. So, to be honest, the only way to get out of this is, as Chris and I kind of been going back and forth on this, like you have to develop a strategy. You have to have a plan, and not just like a temporary thing, right? Like a sustainable plan. I did not want to use that word, but it has to be like a long-term idea about what this team could possibly look like, right? Regardless of if your luck is bad or good, what will this team actually look like in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? I think that, all right, Lito, I think that's super important to like how you view the Pelicans and how fans could view them. If you just stop lying, right? Just start telling the truth about what this team is moving forward, I think you would start to garner a little bit of the goodwill that you think you have amongst the people. If you just start telling the truth about what this is and what you're trying to do. I don't think OKC sugarcoated what they were trying to do. I don't think the Wizards are sugarcoating what they are trying to do. No, they know they're going to suck. They're almost trying to suck pause. They want that because they know that's the only way to get out of hell is to be bad on purpose. When the Pelicans try to do it, they're like, no, we're going to try to win and still lose. I think that it causes more problems than solves.
Interesting thought. Chaz, you want to go ahead with that or anything on your turn?
Ain't no funeral home. It ain't the Terradome neither. Welcome to hell.
Shout out to Clarence Williams III. Rest in peace. That being said, I don't think they're in hell. I think they narrowly avoided it. I think the Brandon trade kind of changes things. You got CJ as expiring. You got Kelly Olynyk. I love his work in what was that, Point Break. You got Kelly Olynyk and he's an expiring. Herb Jones only has about one year. They don't have any more bad contracts on the book, and they avoided a bad contract with the Brandon Ingram situation. To Ross's point, if Zion doesn't improve whatsoever, and he just regresses to like his normal whatever, he's underpaid by this league's standards right now. So he's got to stay healthy. That, and you're probably going to get, maybe a top 10 pick, maybe I think furthest it could fall is top 8 pick, whether you keep that or move it, but also you own all of your own first. So in the event that they did want to do a major pivot, they are still armed with avenues to improve the team. Still got a couple of Milwaukee's picks. They still got a few avenues to improve, and that's the most frustrating part, because it's like, it can be done. You can do it. This was a happy accident that kind of happened with you falling, out of the play-in or what have you this year. Is a happy accident, because God forbid you was just chasing the fucking 10th seed again, and you mucked this up and made the 10th seed, like the great Big Bad Booty Daddy say, aka David Griffin. Like, you don't want to accidentally make the 10th seed and be stuck in the middle for real, pause. But nah, they got avenues. Of course, it depends on what Zion you get into. Me, Trey Murphy's ascension changes a lot. Really putting the ball on the ground, distributing, like he's doing a lot of things that make you say, this motherfucker, he could be a guy. Also, CJ not falling off a cliff, gets you some value back. His contract is sending, and Misi proving to be a rotational guy. There are some things you can say, all right, you can hang your hat on this, especially if you nail this draft pick. But it's the next thing, it's the following move. Like with the DeJounte move,
that's what I was asking.
Whatever. It's the follow-up to that. So if they go out this offseason and they get a good center and you get a good draft pick, to me, cool, whatever. Now you can go into a series and be competitive, health permitting. And now it's the next move after that. Who's the coach? How do you round out the back end of this roster? Things like that. Can you acquire a second round pick? Can you acquire some more some cheap labor? You know what I'm saying? I think.
Well, Chris, I wanted to ask you this, Chris, because Chaz was a good point with all the contracts. But as Kyle just said, like, would you be looking to trade DeJounte Murray this offseason? And if so, how would you even complete that trade? Because he's out till 2026.
No. I think it's too early. I mean, I think even with the injury, it's fucked up to say, but a torn Achilles isn't what it was 10 years ago, right? To a lot of different dudes, and especially, I'm sorry, but
the way
it's not. We've seen other players come back and come close to form. You know what I'm saying? Like, and some that are older than DeJounte. Not saying that's going to be the case here, but I think with the way DeJounte is wired, you wouldn't be able to tell him that. So, yeah, man. I mean, it's still not a contract that I think is one of the worst in basketball, unless he bottoms out as a player. But I just don't see it with him, with how his mentality is per se. But no, I mean, I think I would hold on to, like, what you do with DeJounte. Like, for me, on my laundry list of things would be like all the way at the bottom. Because if you do want to trade him, you would or put him into a deal. Like, you want to be able to showcase him, right? You want to be able to show, like, this guy is healthy. Like, you don't want to trade him now. You would want to wait to where you built up some sort of value. He's shown he's healthy. He's shown he's close to himself, and then maybe you make a business move at that point. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it would even be good business at this point to go into the offseason to trade him. That's just me.
Yeah.
I think you can only trade him if you get the third pick and someone you really wanted was available, i.e. a Booker, LaMelo, somebody you really wanted, And then they're like, all right, you give us that pick and we'll take on. Because now you ask the motherfucker to take on this contract. He's 29, 30. But the way he plays, to me, I don't really think his injury is going to affect him too much. But he's 29. He got about 3 years left on that contract. And so I think realistically, the only way you are trading him is if you get a top 3 pick and someone agrees to take on the contract in exchange for that pick. And maybe you trade him to a team that has no interest in being competitive next year anyway. Yeah.
So look, I'm gonna bounce if y'all want to keep the show going.
Well, I want to play something for you before you left. I had something set up for you, man. We want to give a shout out to our fearless leader, Justin Nabley, aka Coach Nap. Here, you see, he got the title. Damn. You know what I'm saying? That's what having a real coach in the building gets you. And shout out to the Salute to the champs, man. Salute to the champs.
Appreciate you. That number 33 KB Brewer and number 24 Coach McCallum should be hell of players, man. They're good. I appreciate that, Chaz, and all y'all. Yeah, fine.
Before you go, Chaz played a clip earlier. It was from a movie. Name that movie.
I have no clue, but I love the end of Motherfuckers. I'm gonna start using that more. I'm definitely gonna start using that.
Hey, I don't know the movie either. That was a good motherfucker.
I do want to say before y'all continue the show, Chaz. I just looked on it. We had 87 likes. There's 210 people here. Just smash the like button for the state champs. That's all I'm asking. Just smash the button.
One
time. State champs.
Get the hate out your heart.
Appreciate all this, guys. Yeah, that was awesome. It was a fun run. Appreciate y'all. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow for the recap. But y'all keep it going
for sure. I'm gonna get into the fan questions, man. Again, shout out to Coach Knapp. Champion. That's what having a quality coaching staff and a championship caliber coaching staff. And you want to talk about the human element. Justin, one of the best human beings you're ever going to meet, but he also couples that with being an excellent coach. So we appreciate everyone's support in the building. Again, we got 200 people in the building. Let's get to 100 likes. We appreciate everybody with the membership. So we're going to get to some of your questions. EZZZ37 said, can you imagine if we had Zion for that Phoenix series? Can you imagine if Phoenix had Devin Booker that entire series, brother? I mean, I don't know. It's a good point, but that was so long ago, dog.
That's so long. Like that's my only takeaway from that question. I don't have an answer. I don't imagine things like that. I don't think about stuff like that. But like that's so long ago.
Yeah. Shout out to 504 boy. 5 memberships, man. Much love, big dog. We got Reed Hefner again. I love your uncle's work. Gifted one Buku membership. We appreciate you, dog. X5 memberships. Oh man, y'all incredible. Big Money Zeke. Appreciate you always, big dog. We got Dr. Donald in the building. Say don't know how to give memberships. Best I can do. Appreciate you, big dog, with that dub. Big Swole, what's popping with you? He say, fellas, what y'all think about Johnny Broom, fellas?
I'd have to look at the tape. I really haven't been watching college basketball. It's March. Starting to get to that point. Yeah, we'll see.
I know Fear's been balling. Go ahead, Ross.
I'm not sure what program Johnny Broom currently plays for, so I don't have an answer there.
That sounds like one of them names they don't make no more, like Lester Smith. Yeah, Lester Smith. Motherfucker average 45 points for I'm trying to think of a Cornette, somewhere like that. Syracuse back in the 60s. Easy. All right, shout out to Randy Brown. Say Ramadan Mubarak to all the Muslims. To the Pelicans need God to get out of basketball hell. Assalamu alaikum. Yes, sir. Appreciate you with that 10 piece. They somewhere. Of course, I had crawfish for the first time in over 10 years today. David Griffin did too. He was sucking on the heads. We got Alex says OKC offers a package around Jalen Williams and other young players and some draft picks. Chris, what do you think?
No.
No, not J-Dub. No. I need more than I would need a lot of good players.
Yeah, I mean, because that's not. Look, I mean, I'd much rather them tear it down completely. And what I mean is, it's gonna sound. I mean, I know the thoughts of like wanting like young talent back or wanting like sure, like if you give me like a player that maybe is ascending, not someone that's slowly walking towards a second contract. I don't need anybody that I'm gonna have to pay big money to right around the corner again. And I don't even know what he's going to look like in my system away from one of the best systems and rosters in basketball right now. I need somebody that doesn't know fucking shit. That's going to be ready for a whole new era and a whole bunch of bad basketball. And I need picks. I need expiring contract. I need to wipe this fucking slate clean because I would hope that after Zion, a lot of people being and showing the door with him. A package deal of all these motherfuckers getting the fuck out of here because you got to restart this shit all over again.
Yeah, Ross.
I wouldn't. Yeah, Chris said the same thing. I don't think it serves any purpose. Like unless you were telling me you were giving me like some obscene amount of picks or something. It's not that I don't. I mean, I think Jalen Williams is a damn good player. It's not that. It's just the fact that like you'd immediately have to pay him. It just doesn't. I just don't see where it makes you any better.
Yeah, if it was like Jalen Williams and like one more like really intriguing prospect, like if they had Sharp, if like Chris said it the night of the draft last year, like if Sharp would have been included in that Scoot Henderson package, etc., like for Zion probably was the fuck up out of here. But we got P. Fowley say, "Hi, gentlemen. The only thing is if he's traded with what would our team receive has to be the same swap." Yeah, I think we kind of just spoke about that. Have to be something worthwhile. We got AL just got hit that y'all named Brooklyn. I think he's talking about a possible Zion trade partner 5.
Yeah. I actually wanted to mention Brooklyn when Chris was kind of discussing him. Brooklyn's super intriguing. I think he likes New York. I guess all the Biggie references would make a lot of sense. I don't know. He'd pretty much be in the same predicament in my estimation, right? Just being the same kind of where just big market, right? You'd have everything you want, but would you win? If that's really like you always talk about winning, would you actually win there? I don't think so. But
and what y'all really got?
Yeah,
because y'all gonna give me the Knicks picks, and like what I'm gonna be drafting 27th for fucking I don't know. No, y'all honestly think the NBA is going to turn over Cooper Flag to David Griffin and Willie Green? No, I don't know because first of all, go ahead, Ross.
No, I mean, I understand how like that someone could say that, but they've turned over a lot of other elite talent. Like, I've stand by this thing. You know, while we say. You know, on one side of this is like I don't know that we really that this city really deserves a team. They clearly don't know how to build a champ, all that stuff. I think the NBA a lot of times does their part in trying to help them out. I think the NBA desperately wants a team here. I don't think this is like anything on the NBA. I very much because what's also your alternative, right? Like you want to send them to Utah, like that? Like no, they don't want to do that. Charlotte,
the play-in exists like for the Pelicans,
right? Like I totally disagree with that. I think they very much would send him here.
5. Hey, I just wanted to comment on Ross's statement. Like, dog, they're playing a game in Australia. The Pelicans are
out of all teams.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, something is there. Like, the Pelicans are necessary for the Gulf region. I don't know if a lot of people in Alabama watch Atlanta Hawk games. There's somewhat of a disconnect between Atlanta and Alabama.
Yeah.
But you will see people like watching Pelican stuff, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas. Like,
everything east of Texas up until Florida is Pelicans.
Like you talked about Herb. I mean, well, not you, but just Herb talked about in general, like, he knew about New Orleans. Like, he probably been coming to New Orleans as a kid. He's from Alabama. Like, I don't know. I think it's necessary. Like New Orleans is necessary for what the NBA wants to do, and there's a lot of viewership out there that they want to collect still that they're trying to get to.
And I think the Pelicans and Zion playing the way they have been playing, like them still trying to win and Zion look like being exciting. I can see this being like, yo, I mean, what was it? Cleveland won like fucking 3 number 1 picks in a row or some weird shit like that. Yeah. I can see it being something along those lines if I want to put my conspiracy kufi on. And the fact that they penalized Utah specifically, and they like kind of like went after Utah with that, and I can kind of see something there, but maybe I'm just being hopeful. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to P. Fowler against the gentleman of Book Room Media. So you all think a new coach will help bring new energy, even with David Griffin still in the office? I do. Curious to know what you think, Chris.
My bad.
Do you think a new coach would bring new energy, even though Griffin would still be
here? Yeah, because like that's your and like the chain of command. Like your coach would be your lieutenant,
right?
For example, you know what I'm saying?
Boots on the ground,
right? So you're reporting to him every day, and the coach you can always like live with. I'm as a player, as an employee. Well, when players are frustrated about shit and they coming to you, well, hey man, it's above me, above my pay grade, man. But we focusing on this. Like good leaders know how to walk into a room and seeing like, all right, well this is fucked up. I'm not gonna control. I can't fix. Like I think Griff's problem, and maybe not Willie, but I know that it may have in some respects affected Willie as well. Griff thought he could fix everything at once. Like he thought he could change this entire organization from top to bottom. I'm talking about like even beyond them just playing basketball, and you can't. You got to start one room at a time. You got to start one place at a time. He didn't do that. So, yeah, man. I mean, I look at the Knicks right now. You can look at Leon Rose is doing a really good job helping build the team and everything. And you can say what you want about Tibbs, but Tibbs is an established coach. But James Dolan is known like it's one of the worst owners in basketball. It's not affecting them right now. They're still finding a way to win games. Like, yeah, there are other teams in other areas that either have bad ownership, questionable people pulling the strings. But if you got the right person in charge in there leading, dealing with these people day to day, you can kind of get around some of that other shit for a period of time.
I think it also, to Chris's point, I think it also allows Griffin to be a little more hands off. I know he's uncomfortable with that, but it allows him to kind of, let Token do his job. You let this head coach do his job, because if Willie Green is an excellent coach, you don't have David Griffin coming down from the front office saying, hey, can we find some more minutes? Why don't you try to play Jackson Hayes at the 4? Can we find some minutes for Jordan Hawkins? Why are you playing Tony Snell over Trey Murphy? Like, I totally agree with Chris. I think with the right head coach, David Griffin matters less. Shout out to Joey Silva, my dog. He said, word from some connections there. They're expecting Willie Green to return. Thoughts on if he returns? 5?
Hey, brother, listen. I need you and your connects to get the fuck out of here. Like, no, I can't have it. I hope not. I pray not.
Man.
That will only do more damage than good. There's nothing really can teach anybody. It's over. There's no respect left for them. Let's just move on.
Yeah, at this point, it's just like get the fuck out of here. Shout out to Dr. Donald. He said, watch the Netflix special on 2024 Olympic basketball. Pop told Tony Parker, you will be a huge success or a total failure, but I'm not waiting 1 to 2 years to find out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, Mike.
Well, we got Big Money Mike. Oh, we got Big Money Mike. My bad. See, I say Chaz for Pels G. I'm putting the app, bro. Well, they're not finding me in that building. But I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna update my LinkedIn. And I'm putting cases on all them bitches. He'll call me Cheddar Doge. I'm getting everybody out of here. Everybody's fired. Like, this guy is a madman. We appreciate you, big dog. All right, what? Let me see. What was that? We got Trey in the building. He said he should have got JB when the Cavs didn't want him. Oh, Bickerstaff. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if he would have. Y'all think he would have joined? He got to be getting a handsome ransom in Detroit, boy. He got to be getting money.
Well, I think that would have been an easier sell. Although at the time, right, it was still Brandon and Zion. You told me, right? He would have had to get it. And probably from his standpoint, like, I can have a better relationship with Trajan Langdon than I would have with David Griffin. I was just in Cleveland. I'd be dealing with the same kind of people I just dealt with.
Yep.
Nah, let me go up here and deal with Detroit. I kind of understand in the processes. I got a young star. I got K. Got pieces around it. Yeah, I got no expectation to win. With in New Orleans, it would have been pretty much all expectation to win. So, yeah.
And if you're gonna go with a quote unquote retrade, go with a winner like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Chris said, a leader of men. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, can you imagine how he talks to Cade Cunningham? How he coaches these guys? He's getting the best Tim Hardaway we've ever seen, best Malik Beasley we've ever seen, getting the best Jaden Ivey we ever seen, Jalen Duren. Like, just, man. Shout out to Kyle. He said, been gone. Not sure about that. He did increase wins, and I'm not a Willie Green fan. I guess he's speaking to the point where we say Willie Green should have been gone. He didn't increase motherfuckers this year. But, I mean, it's perspective, I guess. We got Lou. Shout out to Lou. He said, do y'all think Trey could play the two with Zion and two bigs and a guard? I think that lineup is great, defense and rebounding. Ross, what you think?
Trey played the two, Zion, two bigs. Well, I don't know if that lineup is great defense. Let me say this. I don't know if you have a choice. So like, yes, because I think Trey's gonna have to play the two. Well, Trey and Zion are gonna have to play whatever positions they're gonna play. But like, just envision a scenario where you got Cooper Flagg, he's gonna play the four. You still need a center, and you're gonna have to have a guard. I
can see it now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it could rebound fine. I think there's like some intriguing components to it. I do think Trey can play the two. He's got to tighten up his handle. But yeah.
No, look. The Phoenix Suns came. The Lakers starting lineup today with Jonathan Goodwin, Luka, Reeves, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Jackson Hayes. Like,
Reeves had 39 points last game too. That motherfucker was balling.
Like, but look though, the universe of all that, and to be fair, like they almost beat Denver a couple nights ago without Luka. But Luka is the fucking universe, and he's shown this. Guys like that, bro. If they are right, you can put together all type of weird lineups with retreads and all different kinds. If they are that guy, there's some shit that you can do to fuck it up. You don't necessarily put trash out there, but your level of opportunities and flexibility in regards to how daring and unconventional that you're trying to be with lineups, you can do all kind of shit when you got one of them dudes. If Zion is that guy, I will care a lot less. They could put Trey. They still need a point guard, but they could put Trey at the 4, they can put him at the 5. I'm not gonna care, to be honest. I'm really not gonna care if Zion is out there putting up fucking 25, 7, and 7. It's gonna matter a lot less.
Dog. Yeah. I just want to say this. It kind of do matter that the coach with the lineups and your strategy with that. They can be all world, right? Lucas said today, I've never shot shots like this wide open. To say that is almost like, all right, what's
taking a shot at Jason Kidd?
You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, well, what's really like? I think he had a better roster in Dallas at this current juncture, right?
Yeah,
it was better. And you saying now, like, you've never shot shots this wide open, and which he was. So I'm like, all right, this is the great thing about this, right? How does coaching influence really good players? And I think that's what we're seeing. And if we got Zion, a really good player, I think we're just missing the other piece of that.
I think
he's lying. I think he's lying. I think he's fucking lying. I think he's saying the right shit right now. The motherfucker played with Kyrie Irving and Jalen Brunson. I don't give a fuck what he talking about. He's lying. JJ Redick might be a great coach, right now. He's fucking lying, but they're winning, and it sells right now. But he fucking lying. I know a lie when I see one. He lying.
Fucking lie to me then, dog. I need some fucking body to lie to me.
You know why I think he lying? Because Eric Gordon and Ryan Anderson said the same thing when they went to Houston. And the next year, Ryan Anderson was on the street, and Eric Gordon was a straight 3-and-D person. Like he spent the rest of his career being a 3-and-D motherfucker. I just think that's something they say, but fuck, Luka, man. I feel like if you get Cooper Flag, you get Harper. That's guys who can shoot, play, make, rebound well enough. Trey has shown some propensity to play make. We already know what Zion's capable of. But I agree, coaching plays a huge part of it, man. So just tweaking said, why don't y'all think Trey need reps? His offense underdeveloped. He can't guard us. So I disagree with you, just tweaking. But I also think I don't know if you need reps doing some shit that you're not gonna be doing anyway. Like I need to play 40 minutes in Willie Green's offense or whoever's offense, and chances are probably you already seen the best you can see of me in this offense, in this scheme, and with the likes of fucking Mo Bamba, and like I don't think it matters truthfully. Brad Ford, he said, any chance Chris Quinn takes the Pell job they offer? I hope so, man. I hope so, because Miami looking like they due for a major reset, and Chris Quinn might want to go carve out his own path somewhere. King Sam the first, he said, am I the only one that is a Pelicans fan only because Zion is here? Probably not. You got people who follow players across the league, but maybe more casual fans or like some stands probably. I haven't seen a major Zion stand base just yet, but I don't know. Probably to a degree. What are our draft odds right now? I think it's 12.5% at a top 4 pick.
We're
40, and 48th at number 1, right? 48 at number 1. No, I'm sorry. 12.4 at number 1 and 48. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
No, it's 14, like 14% for the top 4 for the top 3, and then it drops to 12.8 for the 4th. Mm-hmm. And I think you were going to say 48 to get a top 3 or something like that.
Yeah,
I think that's right.
Yeah, so
top 4.
Appreciate you, bro. We got Blue Jay again. We appreciate you, Blue Jay. What's up, fellas? Afraid the front office might keep Willie for financial reasons. I say clean house expeditiously ASAP. Rocky Carl Langley, appreciate you, big dog. He said, I would love a secret boss episode with the Pelicans. No gal joke this time. I'm chilling this week. Yeah, that man. Can you imagine? Some shit like that would go. Killer Cam, how far do you think they can get with Trey being your second best player? Ross? I don't think any of us are asking him to be the second best player.
Yeah, but we're not. I don't think very far if he's just unless your first best player is like Jokic or something.
I'm trying to get to a point where Zion is the second best player, or him and it's 1A and 1B. Like I'm trying to get to that point.
No, I think Trey. Trey for me is I think can be a very good third best player or fourth best player. I think if you start talking about him being like we're not even sure he's an all-star. Like I think he can make an all-star team at some point, but like
well, I mean, I think his progression, he's got to continue his longest progression. Definitely earn his paycheck and then some at this point. Shout out to Detroit One. Shout out to the Midwest, man. We got Detroit One with the 5-piece. Detroit One back in the super chat. He said, I know they trying to suck with flagrant 5, so I dropped 5 for y'all, boy. We appreciate you, big dog. We got Brandon Franklin. Brandon Franklin became a member. Yo, man, we appreciate y'all. We got a membership episode dropping soon. Mike O, he said, I say, oh shit, my bad. Hold on. Mike O with the 50-piece. He said, I say, Chaz, for Pell GM, put in the app, bro. And we gonna, we appreciate everybody donating, man. And again, can't give enough credit to our fantastic Coach Knapp. Got another video here. Shout out to the Cages, man. We appreciate everybody who came and contribute to the show. All the new members. I think this is the other video I had queued up. Let's play this.
before the game, I told them I really felt that when we made our run, our goal was to win the last 8 games. And when we made our run, I could just sense the chemistry, the togetherness, the bond, the brotherhood, and they will never forget this. These guys will never forget this moment, and man, I'm so proud of them.
These last few weeks and months for me have been like amazing, getting ready, because me personally, I knew we were going to come to the state championship. I wanted to play my hardest for these seniors, and today, as we came out, just having fun and ready to win this game. So, play my heart out, man.
That's what togetherness looks like. And we're going to end on that note, man. Shout out to all those young men. Shout out to Coach Knapp, and we will catch y'all next game. Peace.